We break down some DeMarvion Overshown replacements on today's show after, unfortunately, Overshown's season is over. 3 routes to replace him, right? Internal options, guys on the roster, players who are currently free agents, or trade and cut candidates. We'll break all of that down for you guys here, and you know, if and when the Cowboys sign someone or make a move with that open roster spot, we will have you covered. If you want Cowboys videos, if you are excited that Cowboys football is fully back here, then subscribe. Hell, use the sub button as a reaction to show you are hyped about Cowboys football, even if you're disappointed with the injury to DeMarvion Overshown. As we mentioned, his season is now over following that torn ACL against the Seahawks. This sucks, man. This is a tough loss of a promising young player. The Cowboys were already, do you trust linebacker 4 or 5, whatever, not too sure. Now, you lose Overshown. He was going to be linebacker 3 on this team. He had kind of carved out that particular role for himself. He, I think, maybe more than any other rookie outside of maybe Deuce Vaughn in the same conversation there, I think Overshown had impressed the Cowboys coaching staff more than others on this team in terms of like what they thought they were getting versus what they had seen for the first couple weeks and months. They're like, dude, this guy's better than we thought. At Texas, you saw the film of him being like, he's not quite confident out there. He's kind of looking around, guessing a little bit there. He was explosive on film. We saw that in Dallas. He was more decisive with the Cowboys too. He had already taken a step forward. He was going to play a role for you as a rookie, and Dan Quinn was going to have some fun creativity-ness with him. Even just playing with linebacker, moving other guys around, that was going to happen. Overshown had 9 tackles in the preseason in 46 snaps. That's awesome production. In less than a game, he had a good game's worth of tackles, wasn't missing any, can do some coverage stuff there. He was really impressive. So it sucks to lose him. So, do the Cowboys now, with Overshown out for the year, need to get another linebacker? This is going to be today's pinned comment. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in 1 for yes, they do, or 0 for no, they do not. Ignore the ad. Go vote right now. So now we will look at those 3 routes to replace DeMarvion Overshown. As with most injuries, the first place you look is on your roster. Now, you have your 2 starters plugged in there, Leighton Vander Esch, Damone Clark. That is not going to change. The other linebackers on your roster are Jabril Cox, Devin Harper, and Malik Jefferson. Jefferson's banged up, by the way, and maybe he makes the roster as a depth piece, but he's not going to play for you. Not listed there, by the way, is Micah Parsons, because he should be playing pass rusher. If you want to line him up there as a blitzer, that's fine. But if you're having him do typical off-ball linebacker things instead of mostly blitzing or rushing, you're making a mistake. So first up, then, of the internal candidates is our boy Jabril Cox. Spam Cox out in the comment section. I have not been that impressed by him in the preseason so far. I don't know if he's fully confident yet. And when you're not fully confident, you don't normally fire off the same way. So I've seen some flashes. Would be a potentially big third game, or third preseason game for Jabril Cox. The guy who subbed in before Jabril Cox did, mind you, in that second preseason matchup was one Devin Harper, who I think we have overlooked a little bit. I thought he played decently against the Seattle Seahawks. There was one play, though, was just to highlight Mozzie Smith getting kind of taken away. Devin Harper just gets sucked two gaps over. Just did a bad job there. So I don't know if I trust either of those guys if they had to play right now. If they're linebacker 4, it's fine. Linebacker 3, I'd lean Harper, but I'm a bit anxious there. The actual solution might just be play more safeties. You've got multiple safeties on this Cowboys team who have shown the ability to basically play a linebacker. Jaron Kearse is a linebacker. Like, he spends his time in the box. Donovan Wilson can play in the box. Marquise Bell can do the exact same thing. Wanye Thomas kind of can as well. So the solution might be just run big nickel every chance you need to, and even some big dime in there as well. That might be the simplest solution, but you do still have that loss of Overshown that isn't exactly ideal. Now, have you guys forgot about a subscription before? I know I have before I signed up with Rocket Money. They are a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps you lower your bills all in one place. This actually blew my mind when I found out about it. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about. Think about how many free trials you subscribe to that you probably never canceled. So I'm a big fan of Rocket Money. Most people think they spend about $80 on subscriptions, when in reality, it's closer to $200. If you've signed up for so many things, streaming services, delivery apps, etc., it's easy to lose track of what you're paying for. Rocket Money, by the way, can also negotiate to lower your bills for you up to 20%. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. With them, you can easily cancel subscriptions you don't want anymore with just a press of the button. No more long hold times or annoying emails with customer service. Rocket Money does the work for you. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That is rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show, rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Let's look now at the free agent options for the Dallas Cowboys. First up is Anthony Barr. And this is someone we all know. He spent last year with the Dallas Cowboys, and I definitely am not playing him over Damone Clark and over Leighton Vander Esch. But Barr clearly wants to still play. So if it's with the Giants, with the Saints, did not sign without a spot. Barr was at linebacker. I thought at times he was kind of probably your outside of cornerback too for a good portion of the year. Your biggest liability on defense. So I don't mind Barr in terms of just his ability and what he has left, but I feel like you're still kind of like, yeah, you sign Barr to add a linebacker, you're kind of like, one more injury, and we're still right back where we were in trouble again. So I'm okay to bring in Anthony Barr. I do think he's on the decline. He doesn't have that much left in the tank. I think you're looking at maybe one more year of below average play left for him. So would you bring back Anthony Barr? Y for yes, N for no. I do assume, by the way, that this would be a 1 year vet minimum style deal, but get your votes in for me in the comment section right now. Next up is Kyle Van Noy, who I would have more interest in if you needed an edge linebacker hybrid. Van Noy has been a fun player for a long time in the NFL he can blitz some, he can not really do coverage stuff like he used to do. It was okay as an off-ball linebacker. The decline is set in for Van Noy, and I don't think he's a one-to-one replacement for DeMarvion Overshown. I think, God forbid you lost Micah Parsons, not going to hope that's never ever going to happen. Van Noy might make some more sense because he can do a little bit of both. So, notable name. Production's not terrible, but if you want an off-ball linebacker of the free agents, it's the third name on this list that stands out to me. That is Rashaan Evans, the former Titans and Falcons linebacker. Also remains unsigned, by the way, on the open market. You don't have your linebacker 3 right now. Evans is the tackle numbers are lying to you. You see 159 tackles and you went, oh my God, he's awesome. How is he unsigned? Well, tackle numbers alone are not a good way to evaluate players. Where are the tackles coming from? Are they in coverage because he's getting beat? Are they 5 yards downfield? Or are they a yard after a carry? If it's the latter, let's ride. Otherwise, The tackle numbers jumped up. The Falcons don't have a great linebacker room, and they did not retain Rashaan Evans. So, as a backup veteran, sure. As a player you want to give real snaps to, not so sure. Now, if and when the Cowboys choose to make a move, we will have a video for you on whatever move it is. So if you haven't already done so, then subscribe. Free videos right here on the Cowboys Report. All right, next up is Damian Wilson, a Cowboys legend who has actually stuck around a bit longer that Anthony Hitchens has, so I wanted to make note of Damian Wilson, who's kind of bounced around the league a little bit as of late. And so, too, in a similar boat, Jaylen Brown. I think both of those guys are among the better-ish off-ball linebackers, but Deion Jones signed already. Zach Cunningham signed. Miles Jack signed and retired in like a span of a month. So the free agent linebacker market for now has gotten a little bit thin. Some other options, trade and cut candidates to come. But first, who do you want to add at linebacker? Any player that you can feasibly get. You're not going to bring prime Sean Lee out of retirement somehow. You're not going to, trade for Roquan Smith or whatever. Instead, name a player who you want to add at the linebacker spot. How about we get fun with the first name here? Isaiah Simmons. I don't think he's really available right now. He's also playing safety right now for the Cardinals because the Jaron Kearse role is kind of Simmons' best fit, although he's going to play free safety for Arizona, which is going to be interesting. If anyone can unlock Simmons, it's Dan Quinn, but probably too expensive to go trade for right now. Malik Harrison could be cut by the Ravens, a former third-round pick. He's kind of on the bubble. Maybe a seventh-round pick helps the Ravens make up their mind on that front. Cam McGrone, who I liked coming out of Michigan, but has had some injury problems, which, is an issue there, is a somewhat notable name there. Shaquille Quarterman, the Jags linebacker. They've got a lot of off-ball linebackers to kind of a weird extent from that perspective. That's a name to consider. And then one more Cowboys legend. What about Luke Gifford? Not necessarily guaranteed a roster spot right now. Probably safer than not. But this whole Luke Gifford was going to start for Tennessee thing was never going to materialize. He's on the bubble-ish, on the right side of the bubble right now, down in Tennessee. Titans could save a decent amount if you were to trade for him. He's not that expensive for you. Maybe a little seventh-round pick could help you out from that perspective. So if you want someone who knows the system, can be a backup and help you on special teams with Overshown now gone, Gifford's a fun dark horse name to keep an eye out for.